Hello all YouTubers, I am the Weather Dude. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning back into this Invest 99L discussion for July 20th, 2020. It would be really awesome if you guys did hit that subscribe button and also ring the bell notifications so you guys do not miss my next video. I mean, I cannot believe that we're already more than halfway to 800 subscribers, so please help me get to my next short-term goal of 800 and the obviously more longer term goal of 1,000 subscribers. And another thing, please watch the whole video because this really does help me grow my channel, and it's a win-win. You know, you get the best weather content and I get watch time, which I really do need for my channel. And also please like and share this video. Thank you. Now let's get on with today's video. Hopefully you guys can hear me better in today's video because in case some of you guys don't know, yesterday's video is sadly because to explain this computer that I'm using today, for some odd reason, was not really handling the internet too well. Wasn't really registering to the internet, and I had to use another computer that I really never used the software on, and for some reason the audio was off. So I'm very sorry about that yesterday, but hopefully you guys still watched the videos the whole way through yesterday. But let's get on with today's video. So this is Invest 99L. This is one of 3 tropical disturbances. I'm sure you'll be seeing the video cards on the top right corner of your screen at some point. But this is one of 3 tropical disturbances. 2 out of 3 are deemed invest, meaning the National Hurricane Center is investigating them a little bit further. That is 2 out of 3. So as of this one, this is one of the invest ones. Okay, this says a 20% chance of developing within the next 2 to 5 days. Within 2 days, 20% chance. Within 5 days, 20% chance. This is a tropical wave located about 1,000 miles or so west-southwest of Cape Verde Islands. It really hasn't changed in organization too much, but there will be some conducive conditions for development over the next few days. It will move westward at a pretty good clip. It's an average movement for a tropical storm, 10 to 15 miles an hour, over the tropical Atlantic. But over the weekend, conditions will become less favorable, so this really doesn't have too much of a window to really kind of develop. But some of the models do say that it might develop to the northern Caribbean into the southern Gulf. That's like well out in time. They could actually have a chance to form, die, and then maybe actually come back to life again in the Caribbean. And I'll kind of explain why. But as of how the storm is looking right now, I'll be showing you satellite loop 2, so don't worry about this not moving yet. But this is at 25 mile an hour sustained winds, 1,009 millibars of pressure. The storm, it's decent size, but it's not huge. I mean, radius to maximum wind is 40 nautical miles, 100 nautical miles radius of circulation. Now, in the tropical Atlantic, the ocean temperature anomalies, as you can see, they are well above average, or at least moderately. All right, the Caribbean end of the southwestern Atlantic is definitely well above average. But as for this region, all right, we are decently above average here. We got anywhere from, say, 0.8 degrees to maybe about 1.5 degrees above average. And because of that, you start to see that those 80-degree plus water temperatures building in. So it's sitting in some pretty warm water. As of where the storm system is sitting right now, it's sitting at about, I want to say 37 west and about 9 north. That's where I would put it. That's just by looking at it on the rough, just by looking at it without zooming in too closely. So that would be right about here. So it's sitting in a pocket of 27, 28, which is not completely horrible. I'd say it's actually sitting at about 28. So that's about the low 80s, about 81, 82 degree waters, which is plenty warm enough for development. Now, the GEM model here, this is the first model we're going to be taking a look at. Oh, actually, sorry, yeah, we're going to actually take a look at the satellite loop first because the models are going to be later. So you can see the storm is definitely rotating. It's definitely got a rotating center here. There is some shear, though. It's kind of battling some shear. I mean, we got some clouds moving this way. We got our thunderstorms trying to move to the southwest here, so it's not really looking too good. All right, but there is some convection, but like I said, the convection is sitting right over where the low pressure system is, and obviously that means it's not quite organized yet, but it's getting there. All right, it's trying to get itself organized. At least it's getting that counterclockwise spin motion. That's what we're kind of looking for here to start with the invest. Let's refresh the current low position and to give you exact coordinates here, about 37. I'd say about 37.8 degrees west and about 8.5 or so degrees north. Those are your exact coordinates. So it's moved a little bit further, tad bit further south from the last update. But here's some of the tracking guidance. All right, so let's take a look at the tracking guidance here. And as you can see, a lot of the models having this storm track west, and at least all the models agree, because we really hate when models don't agree, because then that really kind of lessens our certainty of where a storm is going, how strong it is. But at least pretty much all the models here are agreeing it's going to make like a west and maybe a northwest turn heading through the southern Caribbean. So maybe some of the islands here, maybe Antigua, Barbados, some of the islands here could even get hit. But I do think it's going to be in the southern islands, maybe the southern islands, and maybe even the north tip of South America there. So the storms tracking a little bit further south than they usually do. Usually summer storms track to about maybe in between 25 north and 15 north sometimes. But this one's definitely taking the more southerly route than some usually do. How about the GEFS tracks? Let's give it a little refresh just in case. All right. You can see, again, GEFS tracks pretty much all agree that this is going to be taken into the Northern Caribbean. What happens after that, some take it this way, some take it that way. But at least most do agree that it's going to take a west and then kind of bend to a northwest turn over the next few days. Looks like the strength will be just remaining about the same. Maybe getting a tad bit stronger. But this could even be our, first hurricane. I mean, we're still pretty far out from that, but like I said, it's definitely a possibility. But again, here's the GEPS tracks. You see these take it through the Caribbean, even a couple miles, even go kind of a little gutsy and take it into the Gulf of Mexico, to the southeast coast. And one model really actually makes it a hurricane, like a decently Category 1, Category 2 hurricane right there. All right, so that'd be pretty interesting because that model doesn't really have the center really touching land at all. So that'd be interesting if that were to happen. All right, so let's take a look at our intensity guidance here. And as you can see, a lot of the models keep it down here as for now, maybe because they're not fully extending yet because they don't want to go too far out in range. But quite a few models do make this a tropical storm, / even a couple models do make it a Category 1. One makes it a Category 2 hurricane, the SHIP model, which, if you go back here, I believe I saw them. No, actually, they might be within here, but you're probably not going to be able to see them. But yes, the SHIP model, all right, does have this in a Category 2 hurricane, but a lot of the models do agree on at least a strong tropical storm for now. But like I said, where it's going from there, we still have to look because we're not quite certain enough yet. Here's our ship's diagnostic message. I like to look at these a lot. And as for the ocean temperature, it looks like 28 to 29 the whole way through, which that's about 81 to 83 degrees Fahrenheit water temperatures, which is perfect, really. In terms of wind shear, like I showed you in the satellite loop earlier, it's batting a little bit of wind shear now, but over the next couple of days, over the next few days, we're going to briefly drop wind shear, and then it might go back up a little bit, but not as bad as it is now. That's what it's looking like so far from the GFS version here. All right, so wind shear looks like after a couple of days, few days, it'll drop and come back up, but not with quite as much force. In terms of the storm speed, this is moving at about 6, 7, 8, maybe close to 10 miles an hour for now. But then the speed kind of picks up as we head over the next few days and beyond, and maybe even a week beyond that, maybe moving closer to 20 miles an hour. So moving at a pretty good clip after that. Heat content is going to get better from here. As you can see, 4, 5, 6 days out, our heat content jumps to as high as 65. So even though not bad heat content values for now, they definitely will be getting better over time. And that's always certainly good for developing a tropical cyclone. So how about the GEM model here? Let's take a look at the GEM model. Let me zoom out a little bit. We're going to be taking a look here at the cyclonic vorticity signature, and the one I want you to focus on is sitting right here. This is an Invest 99L shown right there. It's kind of almost like a little dark red bullseye, like a black bullseye. All right, makes landfall around the islands 2 a.m. Saturday, according to this run here. I got 2 a.m. landfall on Saturday. And it moves through the Northern Caribbean. Maybe it loses a tad bit of its strength, but I think it looks fairly organized. Again, these smaller scale systems, these smaller size systems, they can strengthen quickly, but they can also weaken quickly. All right. So then it moves through Northern Caribbean, closing in on the Yucatan, moving to the Northwestern Caribbean. This is by 2 a.m. Tuesday. We're going pretty far out into the future now. Closing on the Yucatan, makes landfall in the Yucatan, and then actually heads out into the Bay of Campeche in the southwestern Gulf. After that, but sadly we only goes out 10 days, so we really can't see much beyond that. But there it is. So it looks like a pretty strong. Looks like it actually grows after it hits the Yucatan. It doesn't look like it weakens too much. It looks like it's actually going to strengthen a little bit. The good news that aids in the storm's development over the next 5 days, through the next 6, 7 days, or even next 8 days, the wind shear will be anywhere from 10 to 25 knots below average. So below average wind shear is always good for developing tropical cyclones because the less wind shear we have, the better. All right, because it's the opposite of what we have with severe weather. Obviously, we want more wind shear for that, but at least through the next 10 days, wind shear in the Caribbean will be definitely moderately to even far below average. Now, how about the GFS model here? All right, so GFS honestly doesn't really show anything. All right, to my surprise here. And let's take a look at the precipitation loop first, and you see there's not much on there, which is why I didn't really want to show us with the Canadian model. But if you look at the cyclonic vorticity signature, you'll be able to see it a little better. All right, and you might be thinking, where did it go? All right, it's right here. It's not much. GFS isn't really looking too confident in this for now. So there it is, kind of moving. Then it gets picked up by a jet stream. It's just a strung out area of moisture getting picked up by this jet stream. All right, going out. I mean, that's going out pretty far out in time by this point. All right, so again, the wind shear anomalies, though, even if it does trek out to sea in this direction, we're still moving over an area of below average wind shear. So, I mean, the good news, that's good news. It's not really going to avoid that, it's going to avoid the areas of strongest wind shear, pretty much no matter where it tracks. The low wind shear values seem to follow it, which is good in aiding development. Sorry, that should go over there. Now, looking at the development chances here, according to the NCEP and FNMOC here, looks like you got about up to an 80% chance of development according to these guys over the next 5 days. All right, how about the NCEP, just the NCEP? They give it about a 40% chance of development. Again, sitting right in this region. That's our region that we're going to be looking at, about a 40% chance. And this is another ensemble-based probability, and again, also 40% chance. And you can see some of the NCEP and other models here do track this into the Eastern Caribbean as we head further out in time. Again, we got these warm waters, so as long as the dry air stays down, because we know the wind shear is starting to be below average, which is always good. So thank you guys for watching today's video. I'm the Weather Dude signing off till next time. Catch you guys in my next video where the sound is going to be on. So that's definitely a good thing. So I'll catch you guys in the next video.